The Wolves field hockey team competed in the SAC Championship Tournament over the weekend at Setzler Field. Our cameras were there. Avery McFadden from the Wolves football team joins us in the studio. And the football team played for the SAC Championship as well. We'll have the story, all this and more coming up on Wolves Weekly. From the Langford Center Studios at Newberry College, I'm Tucker Moore.
And I'm Phillip Wade. Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. The Newberry College field hockey team was looking to capture the first ever SAC championship over the weekend. Our Wolves Weekly team was there to bring you the highlights.
The top-seeded and second-ranked Newberry Wolves are headed to the South Atlantic Conference Championship game after a dominant 6-2 win over 4th seed Wingate University Friday afternoon in the semifinals. With the victory, the Wolves stayed perfect at 17-0 on the season, while Wingate's year ends at 11-7. Newberry controlled the tempo from start to finish, outshooting the Bulls 28-5, including 20 shots on goal and an 8-2 edge in penalty corners. After a scoreless first quarter, the Wolves broke through late in the second to take a 1-0 lead into halftime. They came out firing in the third quarter. Leaky Vanderkamp scored less than a minute into the half, and just 2 minutes later, Wimbian Dahmen tailed her second goal of the day to make it 3-0. Wingate answered quickly with a goal from Lauren Montgomery, but Newberry struck again before the end of the quarter as Finite Heemsker extended the lead to 4-1 heading into the fourth. The Wolves wasted no time adding insurance in the final frame. Emma Holzmeyer scored just 2 minutes in to make it 5-1. Wingate's Gerner pulled one back midway through the quarter, but Emma Westbrook sealed it with a goal at the 7 minutes and 53 seconds mark to put Newberry up 6-2 and into the SAC title game.
The Newberry Wolves.
History was made Sunday afternoon at Setzler Field as the Newberry Wolves field hockey team captured its first ever South Atlantic Conference Tournament championship, defeating Lander 3-0 to complete a perfect 18-0 season. The win marked a career milestone for head coach Hannah Dave, who earned her 100th career victory as the Wolves reached the pinnacle of conference success. Newberry set the tone early, with Wimbian Dahmen scoring in the opening quarter and Parker Keeler adding another moments later off an assist from Leaky Vanderkamp. Amber Tozana made it 3-0 in the second, and goalkeeper Ayanda Magina anchored the defense with 5 saves to record her 6th shutout of the year. The undefeated season reflects Newberry's unity and dominance. 8 Wolves earned all-conference honors, including Offensive Player of the Year, Parker Keeler, while Coach Dave was named Coach of the Year. As the final horn sounded, the Wolves celebrated more than a championship. They celebrated a legacy years in the making. Next, Newberry turns its attention to the NCAA selection show, hoping to make its first ever NCAA tournament appearance.
And Phillip, how proud are we of this women's field hockey team? I mean, easily the best year in school history under Hannah Coach Dave, or just in general. An 18-0 finish to the regular season and conference tournament. Just what an impressive group of girls. I wish I would have looked this up prior, but I'm sure this is one of the few times in Newberry College history, we have an undefeated team at this magnitude like this, being the #1 seed going into the NCAA playoffs. We're so proud of them. I know I can speak for you as well. And also the accomplishment of Coach Hannah Dave going out and getting her 100th win actually with that last win. So, and I kind of mentioned previously a few shows ago about their great year last year that they had. I believe they started 10-0, 11-0, but fell short. I think they lost their first playoff game. You look at them this year, I think they had a sour taste in their mouth from that one, and you see them, they're much more focused, and it seems like they're ready to go out and finish the job. So, what do you think they can do to continue the hot streak and continue to roll over these opponents like they have?
I just say they built off this momentum that they gained all season long. Like you said, #1 overall seed in the NCAA playoffs, 18-0. I mean, they're overall favorite to win the championship for field hockey. So, I say they just keep pushing, keep doing what they're doing, and hopefully they can bring home the first national championship for field hockey at Newberry College.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing accomplishment that would be. And, we're eagerly awaiting to see how they finish out this year because they do play Bentley University next Saturday. And, if they win that one, they will go on to the semifinals. After that, the finals, and they'll hope to capture their first national championship. Wolves Weekly will continue in a moment.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Courtney Belton. Joining me today in the studio is Wolves defensive player Avery McFadden. First of all, congratulations on your championship win.
Thank you.
And also, I just want to get into about where you're from and what is your role on the team?
I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and my role on the team I'm a captain on the team, defensive leader, and I play a little bit of offense now and then.
Interesting. So, being that you're a sophomore on the team, how does leadership look to you?
Mainly by example. I like to look at older people go in front of me or people who I think do it right and better, and I like to look at examples, and then I try to also lead by example in the same way.
Okay. And how do you mentally prepare before a game or even practice?
Mentally, I just like to zone out and just envision myself making the play every time. Listen to music and just clear my mind and just get ready for the game.
Who would you say is the biggest team motivator right now?
Keith Detcheshore. I say his passion that he brings in the locker room, his energy that he brings. He's an older guy. He's a big leader on the team. I think he's the main guy right now.
That's wonderful. So what would you say is the team's motto this year?
Our team motto this year is "We Are One." Basically meaning everybody in the locker room, there's no individual player. We all play for the same team. We all, fight for the same color. It's we are one. You don't do nothing without your brother in mind, you know? If you're gonna fight for your brother out there every day.
Wonderful. So what does your support system look like back home?
My family, my mom, my dad. I just love talking to them, my brother. I call them every week. Just talk about, you know what I mean, school, life, football, just anything. Clear my mind. And it's a great support system. It's great.
That's wonderful. So what age did you start playing football and who introduced you to it?
I might have been like 6 or 7 years old when I started playing football. I say my brother introduced me to it. Just watching him play when I was young, I used to be on the sideline just running around, and it just kind of made me want to start playing football too at the same time while he was out there.
And what has been your favorite moment in your football career?
Probably this Saturday winning the sack. You know, I never won a championship like in high school throughout any of that. So to win it Saturday for Newberry and for the city and to get a ring, it means a lot.
That's wonderful. So do you have any pregame rituals that you do before just to get your mind right or anything?
It's gonna sound crazy, but like before every game, I just sit there and I just talk to myself. Just clearing my mind and just you know what I mean, upping myself before the game. I just sit there and I just tell myself like, no one's out here, you know what I mean, can stop you, and just give myself the extra motivation before the game.
So do you have any advice to any high school players that could be looking up to you right now?
Yeah, I mean, just keep working, you know. A lot of stuff really is not going to be given to you in the slightest. Just keep working. If you really want something, you are going to work for it, so there is no excuse for it, you know?
Yeah. So what has been your biggest area of improvement since you've came to college?
Like on the football field?
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest area of improvement has just been being dynamic. Like I said, I came here from Georgia State when I was playing wide receiver, and throughout high school I was a two-way athlete, but since being in college I played receiver, and then I came here as a two-way athlete and started to play more defense. And I say my biggest area of improvement has just been, you know what I mean, getting that side of the ball down defensively and helping my team out in that aspect of it, you know.
Yeah, so being a flexible player, I understand that. So another question I have for you is, what's your major? What do you plan to do with it?
Sports management right now. I plan to use my sports management major to become a coach, football coach somewhere, and help out the youth and just help, you know what I mean, bring them up in the sport that I felt like I got brought up in.
I love that. So do you have any advice to your younger self?
Just keep going, man. That's it. My younger self, a lot of times, especially in high school, there was a time when I didn't think that I was going to go to college at all. You know what I mean? Because I knew I wanted to go to for college for football, and that was really it. And there was a moment where I wasn't getting no offers, and it was getting to that time. And then I just kept praying, kept God in the picture, and everything worked out.
Thanks for joining us in the studio today, and we hope everything that works out for you in your next game.
Thank you.
Wolves Weekly will be right back after the break.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Tucker Moore. The Newberry football team hosted second-place Carson Newman for a shot at their third SAC title in the past 5 seasons and an automatic bid to the NCAA playoffs. We'll have the story.
In a heart-pounding fashion, the Newberry Wolves captured the 2025 South Atlantic Conference Championship with a 28-21 victory over Carson Newman before a sold-out crowd at Stetzler Field on Saturday, November 8th, securing a spot in the NCAA Division II playoffs. The first half was a defensive battle between two of the SAC's top teams, ending in a 7-7 tie. Newberry came close to breaking the tie late in the second quarter, driving 63 yards in 13 plays to reach the Carson Newman 2-yard line. But the Eagles made a goal line stand, stopping the Wolves on 4 straight plays. Carson Newman then marched to the Newberry 41-yard line in the final seconds of the half. But Mikey Blandon made 2 key tackles, and the Eagles' 53-yard field goal attempt fell short as time expired. However, Carson Newman responded in the third quarter with a touchdown. Trailing 14-7 entering the fourth quarter, Newberry's offense came alive. Quarterback Reed Sharpa tied the game with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Rico Dorsey, then orchestrated a 75-yard drive capped by a 3-yard run from Jonah Norris to give the Wolves their first lead, 21-14, with just under 7 minutes to play. Carson Newman answered quickly, driving 75 yards to even the score at 21-21, with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. But the Wolves had one last strike left. Freshman H-back Keyshawn Washington, playing in just his 3rd game of the season, made a fingertip grab on Sharpa's pass and sprinted 70 yards to put Newberry back on top, 28-21, with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining. The Eagles mounted a final threat, reaching the Newberry 12-yard line with 4 seconds left. But Santori Jones sealed the championship with a game-winning interception in the end zone, locking up Newberry's 7th straight win and 3rd SAC title in 5 years. Sharpia was outstanding once again, completing 21 of 29 passes for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns while adding 32 rushing yards. Norris added 37 yards and a touchdown on the ground, while Ken Brunson contributed 47 rushing yards. Dorsey caught 3 passes for 52 yards and a score, and Keith Deschashore added 4 receptions for 54 yards along with a 15-yard completion to Sharpia on a trick play. Newberry finishes with 427 yards of total offense, 282 through the air and 145 on the ground, averaging 6 yards per rush, while holding Carson Newman's top 15 rushing attack below its season average. The Wolves finished the regular season 9-1 overall and 8-1 in SAC play, with the NCAA Division II playoff bracket to be announced on Sunday, November 23rd. Maddie Schiffbauer, NCTV.
And Philip, what a way to cap off such a huge weekend for Newberry College. You know, obviously looking at the field hockey team, now looking at the football team. 2 SAC championships in the same weekend. You know, it doesn't get any better than this. And just looking at this football game, I mean, you know, they say defense wins championships, and in the end, it was the defense who clinched that game with a very clutch interception there at the end. And just going back to something that Coach Knight said when we interviewed him previously, you know, he mentioned that this team seemed to be having more fun than ever. After a year like they had last year, going 3-7, I think they needed this group of guys this year to come in and have fun, rejuvenate this program, and kind of just, you know, play loose, play fun, you know, play energetic. And I think we've seen that this year, and they've capped it off in a great way, winning their 3rd SAC title in the past 5 years. I mean,
Like, I feel like they established themselves as like a SAC powerhouse. I mean, 3 SAC championships in the past 5 years, you know. I feel like Coach Knight, he really established a dynasty here. He didn't get that extension for no reason. All-time winningest coach in Newberry College football history. And, you know, now they got one of the top seeds in the Super Region, got a bye week, and they got a next game next Saturday, November 22nd, against whoever wins this upcoming Saturday. So, got a lot of high hopes for Newberry College. Glad they got where they are this year from last year, and hopefully they can make a deep playoff run.
Yeah, and like Philip said, with how great they've closed out this year, but they're not done yet. Like he mentioned, they will have a game the 22nd here at Setzler Field as we await to see who they select for that final spot. But Wolves Weekly will be back in a moment.
There is a road laid out for me.
Boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I think you're really gonna like it.
I hope so. Yeah.
I know this road is there for me. There is a love waiting.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
It waits down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
I got this.
I know this love is there for me.
Okay.
If I'm really free, take me down to the river and wash me.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. Now let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. The Newberry Wolves volleyball team hosted SAC opponent UVA-Wise this past Friday while also celebrating senior night. The first set was a back-and-forth battle. UVA-Wise got the win in the first set, 28-26. The Wolves looked to tie up the match in the second, and we would be successful with a score of 25-20 in the second set. The Wolves didn't look back and had the momentum on their side, winning the next two sets with scores of 25-20 and 25-22. Annie Dill had 17 assists along with 15 kills from Evie Paulman to help the Wolves get the victory over UVA-Wise. The Wolves improved to 11-12 overall and 6-10 in the SAC. The Wolves are now set to host SAC opponent the Catawba Indians this week.
The men's soccer team finished its regular season last Wednesday against Anderson. The Trojans struck first in the 37 minutes to give them the lead before heading into half. The Trojans will have all the momentum in the second half, scoring 3 unanswered goals. The Trojans would secure the victory over the Wolves with a score of 4-0. Ben Curtis led the Wolves with 4 shots on goal, and Charlie Clark had 4 saves throughout the whole game. The Wolves finished their regular season with a record of 6-4-4 overall and 2-4-4 in SAC play. Despite the loss, the Wolves closed the season still alive for a playoff berth.
The women's soccer team also closed its regular season against Anderson. After both teams couldn't find the back of the net in the first half, the Trojans were the first to score in the 58th minute. The Trojans would add to their lead in the 71st minute, but the Wolves would strike back in the 77th minute, cutting the lead in half thanks to Emily Castaneda. The Trojans would add to their lead in the 88th minute to double their lead. Madison Gutierrez finished the night with 5 saves, and Molly Courtley would lead the Wolves with 4 shots. The Wolves finished the 2025 season with a record of 5-6-4 and 1-6-3 in SAC play.
The women's triathlon team closed its 2025 season by traveling west to Tempe, Arizona to compete in the NCAA Women's Collegiate Triathlon Championship. The Wolves were looking to end their season on a high note. The first across the finish line for the Wolves was junior Kaylee Gill, who finished in 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 47 seconds, placing 60th overall in the championship. Then sophomore Anna Lasodi crossed the finish line with a time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 33 seconds, with a place of 73rd. The freshman, Ismar Estrada Flores, rounded the team with a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 31 seconds to give her an 80th place finish. The Wolves ended the 2025 season on a high note.
And as always, don't forget that you can find the latest on Newberry College athletics at newberrywolves.com. You can find all the headlines, see the stats, learn how the teams are getting ready for the next playoff game, see the latest schedules, and get your official Wolves merchandise. All this and more is available anytime you want it and wherever you are at NewberryWolves.com. And that's all for this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Tucker Moore.
And I'm Philip Wade. Join us next time for more Wolves Weekly.